This is a really quick lecture on why images move and how they circulate, go viral, and become memes, a term which an evolutionary biologist came up with to remind us that ideas and jokes evolve under the exact same conditions and rules as biological organisms in the wild. If you've never read about the invention of memes, or what they actually are, the correct answer is not jokes written over tired, reused images, then take some time to learn about meme theory. You'll be glad you did. Richard Dawkins was the author of The Selfish Gene, which was published in 1976. So yeah, this is a bit of an older concept. But today I'm going to talk about Walter Benjamin's theories of cult value and exhibition value to explain the process of circulation. Benjamin says that before we had the ability to reproduce images in mass quantities through things like photography and the printing press and etching stamps and forgeries and all that good stuff, paintings and art primarily had what he called cult value. That means that images were reproduced and that they spread throughout society because they were tied to a tradition or to a ritual. Maybe the best example of this is the Madonna and Child. And if you walk into a museum today and look at the paintings from centuries ago, you're probably going to find a lot of Madonna and Child paintings because that image was so important to the tradition, both religious and cultural. People valued that image and what it meant. Today, Benjamin says that in contemporary societies, images have exhibition value. A good example of that is this image. When you look at this, what comes to your mind? Is it Rosie the Riveter? Is it World War II and men going off to war and women taking the jobs in the factories? That's the common narrative we associate with this picture, and so it's become an icon of feminism and of women's rights. It's a really good example of exhibition value driving the circulation of images. That feeling that women are just as capable as men, or that women are strong in their own right. Today, images with political meanings are the ones that circulate the most. So we've seen Rosie the Riveter on thousands of different things, not just the original poster. It's even been used to sell things like Clorox cleaning supplies. Hopefully you can see the irony in that. Kendall Jenner did the Rock the Vote posing as Rosie the Riveter. And it's sort of spread throughout the culture through different sorts of images. In fact, a few years ago here at UC Denver, 2 women ran for office and they used the Rosie the Riveter trope as a way to show us that they were competent. But here's the thing, that's not Rosie the Riveter. This is Rosie the Riveter, who was painted by Norman Rockwell in 1943. This image was actually released in Westinghouse for about 2 weeks, and it wasn't about women taking men's jobs at all. It was just a motivational poster. But then it reemerged in the 1980s as an icon of feminist movement. It hadn't been in circulation for 4 decades prior. In the story, it changed in the meantime. Once it was mistakenly identified as Rosie the Riveter, that label stuck, and now you almost can't call it anything else, because that's the image that pops to mind when we all think about Rosie the Riveter. The point is that reproduction changes the meaning and the value of the original photograph. It doesn't really matter that this isn't Rosie the Riveter, because its meaning is inseparably tied to political meanings, and the political meaning is what resonates with us when we see it. You can think about how this is happening again right now with this argument over massive sums of money being paid to people for what are being called original prints of iconic moments in culture. This isn't an original idea, and it certainly hasn't gone anywhere. So that's just a couple examples on how circulation works. Keep thinking about exhibition value and how it's synonymous with political meaning. It's what makes people share and think things. Circulation has a lasting impact on cultural meanings and norms. It teaches us who we are as a people.